Man City win 2-0, but do you know what worries me the most? Not just Erling Haaland being AI at this point. I mean, he's so good. But we saw the last 10-15 minutes there. Cherki, Foden, Haaland. That trio, Foden at his best, the creativity he showed today, what Cherki did in that little cameo, and Haaland with one of the best movement. People say, oh, he scores loads of goals because he plays for the best team. No, his movement, his finishing, his understanding. City are in that title race. Do not write City out that title race, because I think Manchester City are going to go up a level. I think with Cherki, now Foden finding form, and Haaland in the same team, I think Doku's been good this season. I think Manchester City are going to go up a big level this season. I don't think we've seen the best of this Manchester City team that people are already having doubts about. There's a fully fit Rodri to come back in if he can get fully fit. There's this attack to come. And look, as a Manchester United fan, I am worried. I'm worried. So we're going to talk about Haaland, we're going to talk about Foden, we're going to talk about Cherki, we're going to talk about a few other bits and pieces. I did a video last week in the international break, which was called The Most Underrated Player from Every Premier League Team. I put Nico O'Reilly for Manchester City, and he's shown he's very underrated. So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about Haaland. Haaland needs to be stopped. So his stats I found online. 23 goals in 13 games for club and country this season. 17 goals in 13 for City. It's only October. Scored twice in 5 minutes, so they could have easily got a hat-trick. Has now scored in 11 games straight, breaking his own record. He could break Vardy's record, hopefully not. The dominance is not normal. This is not normal. I'm convinced he's AI. He's not human, guys. Is he human? Is he real? What the hell? He's going to break records this season. 23 goals in 13 games for club and country. 20 goal mark in October. 17 goals for City. He could hit 20 goals before November this season. Erling Haaland and Harry Kane this season. And look, people give Haaland a lot of stick. Oh, but he plays for the best team. He gets loads of service. His movement's phenomenal. His movement for that first goal, the head of everything, phenomenal. The finish, the calmness to take up the second goal, fantastic. Man City have had strikers that haven't scored the kind of goals Haaland has scored. Haaland is ridiculous. That is not normal behaviour. And all of a sudden, Foden's back to his best creating for Haaland. Cherki comes on, already creates a big chance, created more big chances than Vert's Cherki already this season. Boom. And I'm like, well, that trio, Haaland with Cherki and Foden behind him, that's dangerous. Doku's in really good form, completing dribble after dribble after dribble. And I don't think it was Doku's best game today. I think he's been quite good this season, Doku, but today wasn't his best game. But Erling Haaland is now the first player to hit 10 plus Premier League goals in the opening 8 games, 3 seasons in a row. What? 3 seasons in a row, he's hit 10 goals in the opening 8 games. Now, the best thing I done was say, I'm going to go Haaland of ECILA in FPL this year at game week 1. But that's mad. That's nuts, people. I knew he was going to have a good season, but I didn't think he was going to better maybe his first season at City. I mean, trophy-wise, he can't really with the treble. But I think he could. I think his numbers this season, if he stays thick, would be his best ever. Because you still got to remember with Erling Haaland, he's so young. He's so young. He's 25 years of age. There's still more to see from him. He's not even in his prime. He's got 11 goals this season in 8 games and 1 assist. Like, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say on Erling Haaland. But what I want to talk about now is just City in general. I think they're going to go up a level, but I want to talk about a few other players at City, and one of them is Philip Walter Foden. Foden did not get a goal and assist today, but he was sensational. Now, I'm someone that's given Foden stick. I've said he doesn't do it for England, he's a system player, he doesn't show up, blah, blah, blah. I've given Foden stick. I'm a Man United fan. When I can criticise Man City, I will. But he was sensational today, and because he didn't get the goal or assist, apart from the Man City fans that watched that game, no one's going to give Foden credit. I think Foden is having an underrated season. I think, for me, he was poor last season, but I think Foden's having an underrated season. The link up, the intelligence, the rhythm, the amount he was creating, the pre-assist, Foden, Nico O'Reilly, Haaland. Foden was involved in both those goals today. Foden was key to both those goals today. His influence could be subtle, but it's essential. He made the City attack flow. He created the chances that resulted in the goals. He got the pre-assists, but he started to drop deep at times. He started to dictate the tempo at times. This version of Foden might not be getting the goals and assists, whereas Salah can get the goals and assists even if he drops a stinker. But his influence on the game was complete. He was confident, he was creative, he was influencing the game in so many positive ways. The link up, the play, the rhythm. That I thought Phil Foden was fantastic. And I don't think he'll get the credit for it. But I thought he was phenomenal. I think we know how good Foden is at his best. Foden's been poor for a year, but we know how good Foden is when he's at his very best. He won Premier League PFA Player of the Season. Like what he can do, like the technical brilliance, the quality, the passing, the creativity, the vision, the ability to dictate tempo is phenomenal. I think he needed confidence. I think he needed to get his head right back in the right zone. I think he needed a more stable City side to perform him. But you've got Haaland, the best goal scorer in the world, best goal scorer in the world, and you cannot argue that. You've got Foden, incredibly good creative player, but you've got Cherki. Cherki's stats last season, I'm going to try and find them. I think Cherki got over 20 assists last season. I think Cherki was like, his numbers last season were insane. Let me find Cherki's numbers. And then you've got Marmoush, who got crazy numbers. So Cherki got 21 assists last season. And Cherki, by the way, is only 20, was 21 last season when he got those 21 assists. There's Marmoush that has ridiculous stats, Haaland, Foden, Doku that's in phenomenal form. Savinho's got a lot more to show. I think this time last year he started quite well, but then he dropped off. But there's a lot of quality in that City attack. Reinders can pop up goals. Rodri's got stuff to bring. Even Nico Gonzalez has shown bits and pieces. Going into Cherki, he got 12, 13 minutes on the pitch. There was already a difference there. He created big chance. He came on. He created a big chance. But the thing with Cherki was every touch he had was class. He had the vision, the flair, the control, but he was having the touch, making the move, playing the pass. And I just feel like when he's fully fit and you put him in with Foden and Haaland, I'm worried City are going to go up a level. Cherki, Foden, Haaland, the trio shouldn't be allowed. Like, not fair. Not fair. As a Man United fan, I've had to deal with Liverpool dominance, I've had to deal with City dominance, there's the Arsenal dominance. It's horrible. At least if one of those teams could fall off and I could banter them, at least it'd be nice. Underrated player, Nico O'Reilly. Brilliant assist, brilliant cross, but not just that. I think he's been really good this season at left back. I think he's keeping his place for a reason. I think he's been phenomenal. I think he's been defensively sound. He won 2 tackles today, won 4 ground duels. I think he's been really good at left back for Manchester City, and I think he's going under the radar for how good he's been for City. As I said, the City attack's terrifying. Foden can pull the strings. Cherki can create chaos. Haaland can get in the right place and finish everything. Savinho today did complete 3 out of 3 dribbles and was the most foul player and complete the most dribbles. Doku was completing dribbles. And City is starting to look like their best self again. You know, City were not good in that first half. Don't get me wrong. City were not bad in the first half. City were always good that game, but it was a snore fest. The first 60 minutes of that game until City went 1-0 was a snore fest. And I don't think City are at their very best. And I think that it was a very similar performance to Manchester City of last year with Haaland scoring. But then we saw in the last 20 minutes of that game, this is City. And that's why I think we saw a little bit of last season's City, but it was Northwest. But then from watching that game, I was like, City have so much more to bring with Foden, with Cherki, you've got Marmoush, they've got Haaland. This City side, we're just seeing the bad side of them. I think they're going to go up a level. And how many times has Manchester City under Pep Guardiola ended the season better than they started? How many times have we got to October, November, people are asking questions to Pep for him to go and win the league? I remember you lost 5-2 to Leicester, same situation. You had a big catch-up to Arsenal a couple of seasons ago. You know, City have often dropped off quite early in the season, but then when they find a way, it clicks and they go and win the league. And that worries me. Thank you for watching. And also, I want to shout out that Everton are a good side. So this is a really good win for City because Everton are a good side. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.